Millions of people about to walk away from homes. Hey everybody, Scott Walters, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So let's hop back on the real estate merry-go-round as we examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
No, Scott, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and unicorns.
No. Somebody's got to read between the lines and look between the economic cracks and friends. We have a massive crack displaying itself right now in the U.S. housing market as it could not tolerate the overnight pandemic-driven appreciation to never-seen-before highs, no organic growth, market manipulation. And friends, I warned about this early on. Make no mistake about this. Let's just clear something up right now if needed. I love real estate. I work in real estate. I own real estate. When I see a bubble, I have to call it out. It was my civic duty. I'm probably the only real talk and real estate agent that's been here on YouTube since the beginning of this mess. And I call it a mess, friends, because while it might feel good on paper to watch your real estate go up in value and everything was just so euphoric, all the markets, I knew that something didn't pass the smell test. This would not last. Unfortunately, most people, unless they've lived through a boom bust cycle before as a bill-paying adult and suffered any blowback, they probably don't grasp the severity or the magnitude of what we're talking about here. They will at some point. It's never been a question of if, it has always been when. So you have to put the percentage of likelihood, can the biggest bubble ever witnessed in human history, let alone with no organic growth and market manipulation, can it sustain itself? And it really kind of irritated me, even as a real estate agent, and I had to bite my tongue in a lot of sales meetings, at a lot of open houses, and dealing with a lot of coworkers, saying, hey, I mean, this is a real estate bubble, and people just drinking the Kool-Aid, actually getting upset for me even saying those things. And you have to understand, anger is just fear turned outward. We all wanted this to be true. Now, one thing's for sure, there's no mistaking, there is no denying the fact that these prices are still very sticky. They incurred almost 50% appreciation nationally. I mean, we've never seen anything like that. In 2008, didn't even incur those type of appreciation rates. So this one was just really scary for me. And like I said, I mean, I've never seen people waiving inspections, contingencies, bidding wars, lines around the block for open houses to tour. People so dejected. I mean, I remember holding open houses during the Euphoria, and it was just standing room only, and people practically just waiting in line to talk to me, to impress upon me, to ask me what's it gonna take to get this house. Come in with your best offer. That's all I can suggest. You know, this is ridiculous. And personally, for a lot of people, I say, just wait. Now, the reality is this: if you need a house, if you got an open checkbook policy, if you can make your payment be within the property's rent range, by all means, let's buy. I mean, that's the biggest safeguard that I can really impress upon people is if you're carrying a mortgage, which most of us, over 75% of homes, are mortgaged, if not more, just make sure your payment's within the rent range. That adds a lot of added security for you, that so someday you could potentially make that property into a rental and a cash flowing income property, and its purchase price isn't as important. But most people don't do that. They just got caught up in the herd mentality, the FOMO, the tunnel vision, and they all piled into this thing and basically got walked off a cliff. And I'm just seeing a lot of people now in big trouble. Anybody that bought at the tip of this real estate bubble now is upside down. Many, if not most places in America. And this is hard, friends, because this is in fact when people start to walk away from homes. We're already seeing default spiking, pre-foreclosure spiking, short sales appearing, price reductions don't even get me started, inventory don't get me even started. So right now, it's a little bit of the calm before the storm. So we're seeing the investors sell off first, liquidating. All these Lennars, KB Homes, all these big heavy hitter home builders now are reducing prices in these housing tracts. And so if you bought during the height of the euphoria and you're watching now people buy into your neighbors at less, even if they're at their higher interest rate, even if their payment is bigger than yours, which is probably not the case anymore because even these price reductions now are getting so hefty that these payments are now within the same range as the people that bought with the low interest rate environment. So again, if your property's within its rent range, you have an added level of security. But if you lose your job, if the inflation's taken a bite out of you, we know this is another really concerning metric. And again, this at some point, we're one news event away, or mainstream media jumping on the bandwagon with this. As soon as they see an opportunity to get views, they're going to jump on this thing, and they're going to manipulate the market, or at least accelerate the downturn even further. But the reality is this: most people now are upside down in their homes, and so they're stuck. They're handcuffed by their house. Now, if you can't keep up with your payment, you only have one thing to do: sell the house. But if the house is no longer worth what you paid for it, you're up against the wall. Most of these mortgage companies are going to ask you, even if they agree to a short sale, which many of them are going to press hard to make sure you don't. And if they do, they're going to ask you to bring money to the closing table, and most people just don't have the wherewithal to even withstand or navigate those waters. They are going to start walking away from homes. 2008 era, like I explained, people were walking away from homes like it was the thing to do. They were leaving the keys under the mat. Cash for keys was another thing that was happening, but most people didn't even, when you're in the middle of this type of life emergency, it's hard to think straight. And many people just dug in their heels. They stayed in that home for as long as they could without making the payment, notices of default showing up, till eventually they walked away from the home. That was in the 2008 era crash, which was the biggest bubble, until this one came and eclipsed it overnight with zero organic growth. The last bubble was primarily caused by loose lending, and we're seeing a lot of interest-only loans, reverse mortgages. A lot of creative lending is still going on, but people doing anything to try to keep their payment down, and that's the only thing they're interested in, their monthly payment. But these loans are a time bomb, especially if they're a 3 or 5 or a 7-year fixed rate. You're going to be forced to refinance, and if your home is no longer worth what you paid, you cannot refinance. And that's what happened in 2008. That's in fact what's going to happen again, but in a different way. This time it's going to be more of just negative appreciation. Inflation and cost of living are causing these people to no longer be able to afford their homes. They're in fact going to start walking away. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Millions of people going to be walking away from homes again if this real estate bubble bursts. It's clearly been pricked as we speak. Many states across America are now above pre-pandemic levels with their inventory, and it's spiking. It's trending in the wrong direction. It's in fact a runaway train that's left the station off the rails, a two-headed monster, as we're now in a risen interest rate environment. Inflation that was not transitory. The U.S. savings rate now at an all-time low, with U.S. debt at an all-time high. People have exhausted their savings. They cannot keep up with this cost of living. The amount of people paying up to 80% of their income for housing is unsustainable. I hate to say it, but I see another real estate crash on the horizon. In the meantime, I'll be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It would be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. God bless. I'll see you on the next video.